This is O'Shea Jackson. You're listening to TFU Podcast, if you didn't know.
I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.
Hi, this is Michael Cooper, and you listen to TFU Podcast.
All right, y'all, welcome into another episode of TFU.
Let's go.
We got a true Hollywood vet, 35 years in the game, more than 40 movies, 200 plus TV episodes,
Talk about it.
from hosting Nickelodeon's Wild and Crazy Kids to starring in classics like The Smart Guy, hanging with Mr. Cooper, Baby Boy.
Let's go.
Carved out his own lane.
Yes, sir.
As one of the most versatile careers in Hollywood.
I love it. Talk about it.
Omar Gooding.
What's happening?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be
Appreciate
here.
you coming in, man.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
what I found out researching, which I always do research and guess, your dad is a legend.
Yeah, man. Cuba Gooding Sr., the main ingredient. Everybody plays a fool.
Your
man.
dad is a Motown legend. What's that like growing up? With already legend as a father.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was a hit in the 70s. So he had the songs that we were just singing right now was like 72, 73. I was born in 76. So that money was gone by the time I was born. He had to reinvent himself by the time I came out. What happened was he went to Africa during apartheid, and like the entertainers, they was like, no, don't do that. Don't do it. You ain't supposed to go. And he's like, you gonna tell me where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get this bag. And he went and got that Africa money and came back, and that's all the money. That was it. That was it. They just pulled all his records, and he had to kind of start over and kind of, find a new way. But, his way was New York, right? Because my mother and my father were born in Harlem. My brother and sister, who are 10 years older than me, were born in the Bronx, right? Then they moved to California. Money was good, all that. Woo! It was popping. Let's get some houses out there and everything, blah, blah, blah. Then I was born. Then when I was born, about one time I turned 5, that's when shit started dry up. Then they lost the houses, lost the cars, and then we moved in with my grandparents in the high desert, and then we started our trek back down to Hollywood. But Pops was like, I got to go chase these bags. So he went to New York, and he was out in New York, and I'd see him holidays, you know what I mean? So it was tough. You know what I mean? Like my brother and sister remember the cars and all this shit, and my parents being from Harlem and smoking cigarettes and all this shit, and my mom gets saved right before I was born. So all I know is the Christian woman. And my brother and sister looking like, this bitch is crazy. She was just cursing and beating people up. Now she's talking about God said. So they looking like, But yeah, no, it was interesting. But it was always fun. That kid you saw in Wild and Crazy Kids was a happy kid. We were living in a car. We were living in shelters. We had just actually, when I booked Wild and Crazy Kids, that enabled my mom to not have to work 2 jobs. All right. So then she was like, "I'm gonna just be a manager and take 15%." Or what they say, 15%. Yeah, sure. I think I got 15%. I was just like, what else I gonna spend it on? The 12. I didn't care as long as I was, So yeah, that was my childhood, man. And then people say, "Yeah, you grew me up." I was like, "I grew me up too, man." 'Cause I was a kid during all of it.
So you were getting into acting first, or your brother?
My brother was in it first. He definitely knew that's what he wanted to do. I had no conception, or what did I want to do? I don't know. I was 9, and I went in. I went in to pick up a script from his agent, Coralie Jr, R.I.P. And she saw me. She's like, "Look at this little happy little kid." She's like, "Have you ever went on an audition before?" I was like, "No." said, would you like to try it? I'm like, sure. So she sent me out on 2 auditions, and I booked one. And it was for McGruff the Crime Dog, little educational film.
Fucking love, dude. I love McGruff the Crime Dog. They played that shit in school all the time in Nebraska.
That's right.
McGruff the Crime. I literally just asked the other day. I was like, they need to bring McGruff back. What happened to McGruff, bro?
You niggas not saying no to nothing.
For real.
But that was my first gig, man. And then I
taking a bite out of crime.
Take a bite out of crime.
Crazy.
Yeah. Then I booked
Ghost Dad. What's up with Ghost Dad?
Ghost Dad was my first feature. So I had a movie before my brother. I did Ghost Dad, and my brother actually came on the set of Ghost Dad. Now the crazy thing about Ghost Dad, Bill Cosby was the star, and Sidney Poitier was the director.
Damn.
Like that.
Damn.
And I have so many stories about that.
Legend.
What?
I need to hear the stories.
What were the drinks like?
No, Cosby was so. But see, this is the thing. Like, what I'll never debate is that he loved kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was always with the pudding pop and all that type of shit. So he was real cool. Like, you know what I mean? So all the shit he did as an adult, you know, that ain't none of my business, man. But yeah, but like so like the audition was interesting. So I remember I was auditioning for Sidney Poitier, and I didn't really know the gravity of what that meant. And everyone was like, the Sidney Poitier was in there, and he was like, yes, crawl on the ground. Now come this way. Now the camera's here. Now climb on the table. Now you're a small fly. You're a flea. Be smaller. Be small. Like, God damn, okay, I'm. And I was in there for so long. I remember I left, and I was like, man, I hope I get this part. And they said I didn't. And I remember this shit never happened after or before, I think, man. My mom actually called the casting directors and was like, why you guys have my son in there so long and say he didn't get the part? And they were like, we'll talk to the director and get back to you, which never fucking happens. And sure enough, they said, you know what? We're going to bring him in for a camera test. Thanks for calling. Like, oh, shit. And they brought me in for a camera test, and I wound up fucking booking the thing.
There was just so many kids, they forgot how good you were, or
so,
what?
I don't know. I still don't know. Because I'm sure agents were like this, don't you be calling behind my back and whatever name, you know.
And then
we did
good
wind
for
up
your
finding
mom.
Good for moms, right? She's like, I gotta find out why you didn't hire my son. And they're like, I don't know, but let's bring him back in again.
Mom really got, she earned that 15%.
She showed help there. That 85%. No.
So you did know who Cosby was, though, when you booked
Absolutely.
it, right?
Oh,
so
man. I was
when you were in front of him or for the first time, how'd that go?
Nervous as shit. First scene, I know I had the little bike, and I was out there, I don't know my lines. Stewart, da-da-da-da. And they were like, oh, there goes Cosby. And I was like, oh, shit. And he just, like, cracked a joke. I can't remember what the joke was, but he said something funny about my glasses or just made me feel real cool and calm. He was like, knock it out, kid. You're going to do great. And I was just like, oh, wow. And that was, being comfortable. That's kind of what I took throughout my career. You got to, the people that you work with on set, you want them to be great. You want the project to be great. So make them feel comfortable. If you see somebody nervous, pull them to the side, give them relax, man, you'll be good. Just, and they'll feed off of energy.
What's your best Cosby story?
What?
That was really it. I mean, I was always really concerned about my body of work. Like, worry about you. Don't be like, oh, there's Cosby. Let me go talk to him. Or this and that.
Right.
Here's another thing. I've just had so many things in this brain of mine. Like, I can memorize the phone book if you pay me. Right? But I'll forget everybody's name. Don't ask me anybody's name in this goddamn room. I done forgot that fast whether you told me or not. That's just how my brain works. If I have something important, it stays in there. And if I got to memorize something else, I got to delete something else. Right? But there's a story that I had I shot a documentary over the pandemic about my life. Someone was like, we should do this one called, because I'm jumping around a lot, but people call me Omar Gooding Jr. out of sheer, oh, well, Cuba Gooding Jr., his brother Omar Gooding Jr. I'm like, no, dumbass, that's not how juniors work.
Right.
But so I had this documentary called My Name is Omar Gooding, right? So, and I interviewed a bunch of people in my life. I interviewed my mom, and I called my brother, and I said, I need you for interviews. He's like, nigga, I'm out here in Weston. I said, I don't care. Just put yourself on camera. Give me the footage. He's like, all right, bet. And my mom said, you should ask your brother about the time he got kicked off the set of Ghost Dad. And I went, she's getting old. I don't know what she's talking about. And I called my brother. I said, hey, man, I need you in this documentary. He said, done. He says, I should tell him about how that time I got kicked off the set of Ghost Dad. I said, that's a real thing? And he said, yeah, you don't remember? I was like, not at all. But apparently, he was talking to me between one of the takes and was just like, yeah, man, you're doing pretty good. Loosen up, da-da-da. And Sidney Poitier yells across the set, who is talking to my actor? Who is that? Get out off the set now! And he was like, shit. And they made him go wait in the dressing room for the rest of the day. I completely forgot about that shit. But that was a real thing, man. And I don't know, that whole time was really dope because I didn't get trained as an actor. Like, my brother took acting lessons. He's a thespian. He can play any role. That's why he's done so many different roles. Fucking AM,
Radio.
I would say AM radio. That's the movie I did. But
Snow
Radio
from
is
radio
crazy.
to Snow Dogs to Men of Honor, that range is nuts, bro. And you say what you want about all them other Boat Trip and all this shit.
I like Boat Trip.
What I'm saying is, it's something that that's just not in my bag, right? And not for lack of trying, but the Boat Trip, but the radio one, I tried to play a mentally challenged, and I made a damn fool of myself. You have to be trained to get in that headspace. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, he was crazy good in radio.
Bro, that like me and my sister watch it and we cracking up laughing like, oh my God, look at this thing with the teeth. And my mom's going like this. She can't look. Because that's what, your parents, your biggest fear is that the kid comes out with some, you know what I mean? So that's how real it was. But with me, with Ghost Dad not being trained, it was always just like, that's good? Oh, wow. Now faint. Like, how the hell do you faint? Yeah. I don't know, faint. He's like, just roll your head and just hit the wall and just, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I had to take, classes or methods.
How many times do you have to faint? How many
a bunch of
times
times.
did it take?
Yeah. On a production like that, it was like, and again. When I was a kid, you had so much stamina. I probably did 30 times.
Did you make the baseball game? Wasn't there a Ghost Dad versus Harlem Knights baseball game?
Oh, what a great memory you put back in my brain. Yes! Versus Harlem Knights.
I thought it was I was like, how are all these dudes out here playing just softball out here? I was like,
I forgot.
Were you at that?
I have to call my sister and tell her to tell me the story. That's how my brain works. Like, I have people that are around me that'll tell me, like, don't you remember this story? And I'm like, no. He said, and then I said, what else did I do? I just want to know how did it end? I said, I was there. Yes, you were there. Nigga, what was the reason why we was there? But I remember that because I know I have the shirts. My mom has all the memorabilia of everything. So that's the baseball.
Yo, the baseball. How did that go down?
That's great.
You don't remember nothing from the game?
No. But as you say it, I made me go, oh yeah.
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, all those guys were there, right?
So cool. Yeah.
That's dope.
It was Ghost Dad versus Harlem. I thought it was the randomest matchup too. I was like, Ghost Dad versus Harlem Nice. What the fuck?
Who won?
I don't know.
No. You ever asked? We won. I remember I hit it so hard and it was running so fast. And they're like, no one's catching that. It's up. You don't have to run so fast. Run the bases. Oh, that's so funny.
Yo, that's dope.
Wow.
That's a crazy game.
How old were you when your brother did Jerry Maguire?
So Jerry Maguire was
95,
99, right?
95. Yeah, I had graduated high school, so I was doing Smart Guy, I believe. Or I was like coming off of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. It was right at the end of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Going
It was
into Smart Guy.
96.
96. It was 2 years after I graduated. That was right at the end of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. So I was like 20.
That was huge.
I was about 20. I remember that's another method, dude. He would walk. I remember he showed me, he's like, this is my walk for this new movie I got. And I was like, your walk? He's like, yeah, this is my Rod Tidwell walk and shit. And I was like, cool. I was like, so what? But then when you see it, because I remember he would tell me, he always thought that the catchphrase from that movie was going to be, everything. He's like, when he's dead, his feet are on the thing, he's like, I was like, that's what he thought. I was like, no, nigga, show me the money. That shit is iconic as hell.
Yeah.
But what a good time, man. I remember watching that movie at the premiere and going, it's pretty good. Like, I didn't really, I was like,
it didn't hit home.
It didn't hit home until I got home. Well, but you got to think about this. At a premiere, like if I was just a regular, no disrespect to people that had regular jobs, but that would maybe it would have just been great just sit and watch. But I'm on the red carpet. I'm doing my own thing. I'm playing my shit. I'm just like, it's all Hollywood to me. And hey, see, hey, that's blah, blah, blah. We get a picture with them. I remember him saying, nigga, go sit in your seat. We about to start the thing. And I was like, and I remember watching it kind of going, yeah, it's pretty good. Everybody's clapping or whatever. But then when I got home and watched it again, like by myself, when he gets to the end and he's like, my ambassador, I'm over there watching it going, that's right. Get the money. It's such a feel-good performance that he so earned it. And then during the Oscars were hilarious because he only invited, he had his wife and he had our parents there. I didn't get a ticket to the Oscars. So I was at home doing a viewing party. I get a call by Access Hollywood. And they said, we want to send a camera crew to your house while you're watching the Oscars. And I'm like, why? They're like, well, we think your brother has a pretty good shot at winning. I was like, all right. But if he doesn't, you know what I mean? If he don't win, you better get the fuck out. Like, that's what I was thinking, And there was a movie, Primal Fear, by Ed Norton, where Ed Norton plays like the schizophrenic kid that switches up. And you remember that fucking movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
That movie was phenomenal. That's who he was up against in the Golden Globes and in the Oscar. In the Golden Globes, Ed Norton won. And I was just like, usually you win a Golden Globe, you win that. So I didn't think my brother had a chance. I thought it was just great that he got nominated. You weren't giving out Oscars to black guys, at black people back then like that. You know what I mean? So I never thought he was going to win. I just thought it was great that he was nominated. I'm throwing a party to celebrate that. And I think the first time if I ever would have fainted in real life was when they were listening. They were like, the winner is cute. All I heard was cute. That's all I remember. It was just like, you know what I mean? Which was awesome, man. So happy for him. That's why his speech is so pure. I didn't think he thought he was going to win. He didn't write nothing down. You didn't see him go, I would like to thank, hell no. He was like, oh, shit. I want to thank the Crips and Bloods. I want to thank them. You know what I mean? Oh, it's awesome.
Did he thank you for getting into the industry first?
No, hell no. It's funny, too. I was like, you didn't mention me. Like, shut up. But, I'm the baby bro. You know what I mean? I'm damn near 50. I'm still the baby. He come in the room right now and be like, hey, it's my brother. What's up, man? We fought and stuff before, but it's always been like, I've always been taught, respect your elders. Like, it's a 10-year gap between us.
Do you ever talk shit or like he brought that thing around after he won it?
No, that's funny too. People always say this shit like, oh, the pressure's on now. I'm like, pressure? The next Oscar after that was who? I don't even remember. The next black African American when I was probably 10 years after that. Like, it wasn't just they weren't just giving out Oscars like that.
Right.
I checked it off the list. Like, oh, we got one. I felt like we as a people
wasn't Sidney Poitier the first?
Yeah.
And he kicked Cuba off the set.
You gotta watch you gotta watch my documentary how Cuba tells that story. And he's like, let me tell you about the next time I saw Sidney Poitier. That's dope. It totally came full circle, man. So happy for you, man.
What's your favorite performance by your brother?
Fucking Men of Honor, bro.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because as an actor, right, when you watch other actors perform, there's certain things that are going on that you can, I don't say fake, but you act. You know what I mean? Like crying. I've seen some stuff behind the scenes where they blow stuff in their eyes and make them cry and all this type of shit. And you're just like, oh, really? I thought this was acting. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when he was walking in that damn suit, and every step he fucking took, and then he was crying in the suit, I'm just like, how heavy was that fucking suit? Like, you're acting for real, bro. Like, and they were like, nah, he was fucking drowning. Like, if you don't fucking make it up, you are going to die. Like, that performance, between that and a movie called Gladiator that not a lot of people saw. So after Boys, and this is me trying to get in the mind of my brother, who's just another human altogether. So I don't know what he's thinking. But in my opinion, after Boys in the Hood, he was like, I got to do some tough guy shit. Because of the swinging in the air and the crying on the girl. You know what I mean?
Was he practicing that in the house? That's why I wanted to...
Was he like punching me? When you beat my ass.
Did you ever see it?
I was like, this nigga
saw him in the corner and you was like, what the fuck is he doing?
You find out his middle name and try to call him that. That's when you find out how you can fight. No, but he took boxing lessons for this movie called Gladiator. And he was the absolute shit. Not only was it a time where, when you're watching him fight, first of all, I knew he really could fight. He's taking real lessons. He learned how to box, the combinations, everything about it. And he had the dopest role in there. He had the tough guy. He was the one that, he was kind of like my baby boy role. You know what I mean? Right. He was that role in this movie. And I wish more people saw it. I think the lead, I can't remember the guy's name, me with names. But he was very, Twin Peaks, remember that show, Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
It was very popular for a while. The lead guy on that was the lead in this. He was real monotone. He was just one of those, he could be faced it and move.
The blue velvet guy,
yeah, that guy. He would just say stuff and they get done, your cheekbones hurt? What's wrong? Move your lips, and it was popular at the time, but the movie didn't do too well. But he was awesome. So between that and Men of Honor, for sure.
So do you feel like you got he went movies more, you went TV more because you were 1000%. In TV and you've done over 200 episodes of TV?
I've always been a TV guy, and it's so funny, man. Him and I think a lot of A-list actors never really realized how well successful television shows really pay. I remember he would get offered series all the time and like, nah, no, I'm doing movies, fuck off. And at one point in his career, he got offered something. He called me, he said, yo, they pay that much in television?
I feel like
and then all of a sudden, everybody started to do it.
There was a switch at a certain point where you wouldn't catch an A-list actor on a TV show. It was like, their career's over.
Yeah, exactly.
They're on TV now. Fuck, it's over.
It's like, he's doing a reality show? It must be tough.
And now it don't matter. Now it's like they're on series, they're on I got to work with Halle Berry.
Ooh.
I got to work with Halle Berry. She did a TV show called Extant. It only went for 2 seasons for whatever reason. And I played an orderly because she gets like locked up. She gets, put in a mental institution, and I play one of the orderlies, little creepy guy. It's like, all this other shit. And I was like, she is a real action hero. She is the shit. She's really cool, but she likes the physical shit.
Oh, okay.
Everything you heard about it, you kind of go, I can see why. She is a physical beast. And I had I played the head orderly who was like, all right, pull her off. And in practice, she would just break away every single time. And I was like, all right, girl. And I was like, you grab her, and you grab her. I made the two other guys grab her. And then the next day we were riding the set. I remember we're all in like the little van that drives them. She turns around, looks at me, and goes, Omar, look what you guys did to my arm. She had bruises all over her arm. I was like, that wasn't me, Holly, knock it off. And she was laughing like, no, it's okay. But no, these aren't bruises. And they hurt. And I was like, damn, that's because you were this psycho. She's really Catwoman. But it was really cool to work with.
So what you're saying is you was hanging out with Holly Berry every day.
I show as much as I could.
I heard that. I heard that.
You heard the rumors of Monsters Ball?
The rumors of Monsters Ball, sure.
Yeah or no? That the sex scene?
Yeah, I've heard rumors. There's a lot of rumors about rumors. I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you. I know I was watching though. Like,
the real question is, was the sex scene in Baby Boy real?
Again, I wasn't there. I'll tell you this.
I referenced that sex scene a lot. And I'm like, I'm about to Baby Boy the shit out of this.
That's funny. We were supposed to have a sex scene in that movie too. We just never got around to filming it. I don't know why. I know we was preparing for it. I'll tell you that much. I was getting ready for that motherfucker. But then I was like, no, we're gonna cut. We don't have enough time to get to that.
He was like, what?
I was like, what? God damn it.
What do you mean I got all the time?
Oh my God, I was working out so hard.
I'll stay after. I don't know.
I got to get paid for it. I will do it for free. But her and I actually wound up dating afterwards. So
How was working with John Singleton and Baby Boy?
Hold on, don't.
What happened?
What'd you say?
What?
You said you and Halle Berry were dating?
No, the girl from Baby Boy.
No, Baby Boy.
Oh, okay.
He's like, what are you, Halle Berry? Whoa.
Because I searched up, and you seem to be pretty clean on the not letting your relationship life out on the internet. Couldn't find much.
Yeah, yeah.
I was trying to find some exes to bring up and shit.
She was really Angel Conwell. Shout out to Angel, man. She played my girlfriend and Baby Boy. Then we developed a relationship. We were together for like 3 or 4 years, and
talk about that a lot. Just because you hang out on set all the time, because it seems as though
this is what
actors always get together.
Great point,
in these movies.
So this happened. The first time I experienced this was in high school. In high school, that's the only like training I had. I would always take the theater class or the acting class. Like play production and stuff like that. And I'd always get cast as like the lead or, the other 1 or 2 leads, whatever, right? So I was cast as a lead, and the girl that played my love interest was a girl that, we were not each other's type. Let's just put it that way, right? She was into this, I'm into that. She looks this way, I look that way, whatever the case was. But my acting coach, she said to us, this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to go to lunch together, sit together, and for the whole time, I want you to give each other compliments. I don't care what it is. I like your hair. I like your eyes. I like your mouth. I like your shoes. You have a nice dress. That type of thing. And go. And we were like, all right, whatever. Like, hey, how you doing? You got nice hair. Yeah. I like your hands. I like your eyes. I like your lips. About 12 compliments in, we were just like, so fuck lunch. Let's go find a little quiet place. Let's go find a place. Let's go find. And I think it was just about connecting, but they encourage that.
Yeah.
They want to see real chemistry. They want people to. But that's why it happens so much.
They want you to bang.
You're acting. The key to acting is not really acting; is really getting to it. But that's also the fine line with a lot of stuff.
Now, Omar, this might be some bullshit, but they said that Denzel Washington slept with every single one of his leads.
Damn, really?
That's what they said.
That would really make him my favorite actor even more so than the on-screen stuff.
Because you're talking about the connection thing, so I was wondering.
Highly doubt it, but you never know. That's the thing, when I do these interviews and I always say, so what's your opinion on this, or what happened with that, or talk about your brother, or these are person. I can only vouch for myself. Like,
right.
I really can't talk about it because I don't know. I can guess. I'm like, I think
have you ever heard of that about Denzel?
No, I've never heard that.
Okay.
I've never heard that.
So going back, how was working with John Singleton and Baby Boy?
Oh man, so he was dope, man. But he was a supreme motivator. That's what John Singleton was. He knew what to say to get you to do what you didn't even know was in you. Like, you think about the kind of actors that he always worked with. It would be like a rapper or an unknown actor or a guy that's known for sitcoms.
Right.
And then he's like the complete opposite, or a rapper who you wouldn't think can act at all, or, somebody that he discovered. And it was all about bringing it out, right? My process with Baby Boy was this. I get a phone call from my mom. She said, guess who called me? Who? She said, John Singleton. I said, wow, really? She said, yeah. He said to her, I made one of your sons a movie star. I would like to make your other son a movie star as well. I said, damn, that's strong. She said, I'm going to send you a script. Take a look. I read the script and I said, holy shit, how the fuck did he know? And what I mean by that is, the people that I was around, that I grew up with, were people that A, could fight, because B, I grew up out here. You know what I mean? I went to North Hollywood High School, and they bust in kids from LA, and that's when the culture really kind of hit me. You know what I mean? Because like in junior high and elementary, everything, it was in the valley. It was more mixed. I had a bunch of friends of all different races, but high school was when it was just like, yo, we over here, bro, and they over there. And then, it was still cool, but it was like, I got my first taste of really like gang life, no bullshit, just to keep it a buck. But the people that I chose to be around, it was like, we go out, we get into something, I want to make sure they can fight. I'm not hanging out with like Leonardo DiCaprio or somebody. I don't know if he can fight, but I know these dudes can. You know what I'm saying? So I had that past. There was a story that leaked about me having guns and getting pulled over during hanging with Mr. Cooper and blah, blah, blah. And all that, was real. It is what it is. It just was what it was. But I tried to, it wasn't this era now where kids are hanging out with this celebrity or the athlete or whatever and then putting a phone on them and then leaking that and blah, blah, blah. And then you fucking off the meal ticket. You know what I mean? And social media also wasn't what it was. But anyway, so I read the script and I'm already just like, hell yeah. I mean, I had gotten to an incident very similar to what happened in Baby Boy, where I was with my best friend and we went to a party and it was 3 of us and like 15 other guys who were younger, so it was funny. They hit us up like, where you from? And I remember stepping in front of them looking like, you little niggas, I feel like that. You little niggas don't want none of me, like that type of thing. And they were scary. So they thought they had the numbers and we were just going whatever. So we stood up like, what's happening? And they started throwing shit at us, right? Bottles and stuff. So we ducking out the way. And then one blindsides my boy and hits him in the mouth. He falls down, bam. So I'm looking over and I see him on the ground leaking. Now I'm holding his head like a scene out of a movie. All the kids, everybody's running. Police come, ambulance, da-da-da. And I didn't, like the car didn't pull up like, let's go get these dudes and jump in. The car pulled up, but I couldn't get in. They knew. They was like, nah, bro, we gonna handle this. You got to just be that guy that, you have more shit to lose. So I had to just swallow that. And then, that's what wound up happening. Some jail, death, whatever. God took care of it. Let me just keep it a buck, right? But that's just something that still feel like, damn, I wish I could have went and retaliated. So I'm reading this script like, oh, I'm the guy that they call and we get to go get these little niggas. Like, yeah, like that resonated so deeply in me. And I was like, I got to get this role. So I'm 24 years old, 260 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I read this, I lose 30 pounds in like 3 months by just doing push-ups and shaving my head. I get to John Singleton.
Shaving my head.
That's it. Because I remember asking him, I was like, you think I should have a bald head or I should have like braids or something? And he said, bald head. I'm like, good, because I already shaved my head. Then I show up in a tank top and some jeans, and he was like, you ready to read? I said, I read. And I'm fired up, and I'm throwing stuff around the room, and I'm yeah, what, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, boom. And I get done, he's like, hey, man, well, you look great. Good job, man, thanks for coming. And I leave, and I don't hear shit. I don't hear shit. Next day, nothing. A week goes by, nothing. 2 weeks go by, I'm like, well, I didn't get that. Moving on with life. A month later to the day, I get a phone call. You got that job. I'm like, what job? He said, that the Baby Boy movie. I said, get the fuck out of here. So now I'm cocky and I did it, blah, blah, blah. And we go and we start rehearsals. Now, the rehearsals was a 2-week process where we did improvisational games. Now, again, I'm not a trained actor, so I don't really know about these improv games where you pick a word and you word association and this and that and put yourself in this and now you're this. And I don't know about that shit. So I was just kind of winging it. And at the end of like the second rehearsal, John Singleton says, all right, everybody's doing pretty good. And he looks right at me and goes, well, some of us need to step it up. Hey, all right, see y'all tomorrow. I was like, what the fuck? I was burning up after that. And I went home, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't wait to get back to the next one, right? So we show up the next day and I was on fire. As soon as we walk in, he's like, all right, everybody, let's get started. First exercise we're gonna do is one of you will sit in the middle. Everyone else will sit around and we'll ask in character questions, but just remember to stay in character. Who wants to go first? I was like, me. I got up, sat in that middle. I'm like, let's go. Anybody said anything? What's up? You ain't got a question for me? Talk, nigga. What you scratching your head for? Looking ass nigga with that hat on. Fuck what you got. And I'm just going at everybody. I'm making up stuff. Bitch, you still ain't bring me my money that you owe me from last week and I borrowed $10. He was at work and you were about, she like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? What is he saying? I was just going at everybody. And be like, and John had a camcorder and he just kept recording the whole time. He didn't say cut ever. He would just be like, all right, next setup, word association, and go. And then I remember me and Tyrese, I'm in his face. I was like, Melvin. I'm talking about, Ving Rhames. And every time Ving said something, I just jumped on him. Shut up, nigga, blah, 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 blah. Fell on the bed, we're wrestling, and I'm getting the better of him. Like, no bullshit. I'm like, this big ass nigga. I'm like, you bitch, them ain't even real muscles, motherfucker. You saw, right? And he's like, kind of looking at me like, all right, little motherfucker, keep it up. And it came to a boiling point. The boiling point happened when Ving Rhames had enough of me chirping at every fucking body. And he said, man, shut the fuck up. Where you from? And I was like, okay, so I'm training. We're supposed to be from 60 Crip. That's the one that do Big Cat from 60s Crip. It was kind of like the guy overseeing everything, kind of keep everything authentic. So I'm like, I'm from 60 Crip. And he said, shut up, bitch, you from the Valley. Right. When he said that, I looked around. I was like, this motherfucker know we acting. Right? And he said, what you gonna do? And I remember I looked down at AJ that plays the mom, and it was just like Harlem Nights. She looked at me and she went. Right? As soon as she did that, I went, bang, bang, you dead. He said, bitch, them ain't no guns. Slapped my hand, picked me up, body slammed me. Boom. Damn. Now we on the floor, bro. And I'm feeling again. I'm like, yeah. And I'm talking shit. I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't tough. And then all of a sudden, I can't really move. And he's got me now with one hand, easily pinned me down, like he about to just drop the hammer on me, bro. And John Singleton just. No cut, right? And I remember I wiggled my hands free and I grabbed Ving's forehead and kissed it. I said, cut, nigga. And no one laughed. It was just like, good shit. And we got up, and everybody went to their separate ways. And then Ving walked over to me and he said, damn, would you take an acting class overnight, nigga? And I was like, hey, man, he called me out yesterday. He's like, good shit, man. Keep it up.
I love it.
And the only acting class I need is one look.
He called me out for everybody. Step it up. See you tomorrow. I was like, what? But, there was other stuff that I'll talk about. And then it was I remember the first scene that we filmed was the garage scene where I say I want to get saved. And John walks over and he's like, all right, man, this is the scene I'm sending to Paramount. This is the one that's gonna let them know that we really got shit. So I need it from you. Bring it. He's like, I want you to be out of breath before I say cut. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, do some jumping jacks, some push-ups, whatever. I want your heart racing. So when you see the scene, and I'm at 24 years old, ain't shit. So I'm doing the push-ups all the way until I hear, all right, camera's rolling. Now I get up. So I'm getting ready to go. I'm breathing like this because I'm ready and I'm in character now. I was doing all this yelling, but he got me to internalize all of it. That's why a lot of the lines I said, like I asked my woman and her mama for money. That's where I was locked in. You know what I mean? And now to this day, when I'm about to do a scene and shit, I'll be like, I gotta get ready. I hear John's voice in my head, and I'll be like, let's get it going, bro. Let's get it going. I should be like this, but probably now. But at the time, my heart was beating out my chest, man. But now, hell of a motivator, man.
From movie beefs to a real life beef, you've caught yourself in. You apparently don't like the Junior being added to your name. What happened with Cam?
So look, it's not that I don't like the Junior being added to my name because I understand why they do it, right? But the last couple of years have been very interesting. Two major things happened. One was the pandemic, which changed a lot of things about aspects of life, period. Like people are working from home now. They're not coming in. There's so a lot of things. The way we do business in acting, we don't do as many face-to-faces now. It's a lot of, on camera, put yourself on tape or Zoom and stuff like that. So that changed stuff a lot. Then I had just signed a deal to Disney to be one of the stars of a series called Saturdays. Yep. We took lessons for 6 months on how to roller skate. It was all about the roller skating culture in Chicago. We relocated, got apartments. Pay was great. The contract was crazy. It was like, you're now a Disney dad. You can't do this. You can't do that. Watch your mouth. I had to take stuff down on social media that they didn't like. All type of shit. Like, we're watching your ass. You are now a Disney dad. We're going to pay you accordingly. But you sell your soul. It's really for the better. You got to be nice and, you just got to have an image now and all this. I was like, shit.
Right back to that Cosby.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Come on.
You're like
and
Cosby
I was like,
now.
okay, this is it. And they're like, the thing is, it was just a pilot. So when you do a pilot, most pilots from Disney get picked up. You're going to go to series, but they still made us wait. I'm telling you, we waited for, it felt like a year. And then we heard, going to series. Oh, shit, we got the series. And it's like, now, when they do shows that are Disney shows, it's the kids role. It was all about the kids. I played the parent. Me and Golden Brooks from Girlfriends. We played the parents to this girl who was roller skating Fishing out, she had a roller skating crew and the whole thing. Anyway, so we're out there and this and that. I'm just like, man, this is probably gonna be like the last chapter. I'm probably gonna be doing this forever. And then this fucking actor strike hits, right? The writer strike was like, okay, writer strike. The actor strike pissed me off. Every working actor was mad as fuck about this strike. Like, hell no, we getting ready to go into season 2. We hadn't got an official pickup, but we just knew that's what it was gonna be. And I remember my agent and I remember my brother both called me and was like, hope you saved your money. It's gonna be a real strike coming. And I'm like, you think that's all I got in my bag, bro? And he's like, you didn't have to even say that shit. I'm like, whatever. So I did, I had music. I always had music going, but a lot of people know that I rap. A lot of people, and when I say a lot, people in the industry, if I've done, Snoop knows, Cameron knew when we did a movie called Percentage. Jeezy, I did a movie with him a couple years ago. He know. I tell him about it. I'm never shy about it. Like, I got bars. Oh, yeah. They kind of go, all right. Then I send them something and they go, nice.
Now you got bars.
And I'll be like, okay, well, let's do a song. They be like, yeah, I'll call you. Stay close. And it's just like, So it actually took something like this. But so anyway, so I started doing one of my dreams. What I always wanted to do, stand-up comedy. I've always been funny. I've always loved the mic, and my father was a singer, my mother was a recording artist, so being on stage in front of people was just, I love it. I love doing plays too. I haven't done a lot of them. I'm actually doing one now. Let's just get into that in the next interview. But it's just being in front of people, that rush, and it's funny. I heard that T.I. is doing comedy too, and I think it's because it's the rush. He probably was, and this is me guessing because I don't know the human. But it's one of those things where I think that he probably said a joke or two on stage when he was in front of, and that rush you feel when you say something and you get music is one thing. That's my last check off the list is to be rapping and people to know my lyrics and it be crowds. But that's the last, but the comedy thing is crazy. But one of my bits, I talk about, I talk about my brother, I talk about my father, and I say my brother's name is Cuba Gooding Jr., but mine is Omar Gooding, and it stops right there. Some people need to hear this. My name is not Omar Gooding Jr. That's not how juniors work. You know what I mean? And not to mention, I named my son Omar. That's Omar Gooding Jr. You know what I mean? He's 8. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't bother me. And again, it's worse now. Now people be like, what up, Omar Gooding Jr.? Oh shit, I didn't mean it. They just know. They just, because there's so much attention to it now. Yeah. But so I got this stand-up comedy thing doing. I had a whole tour that I started. We went around the country. It's great. It's fun. I meet new people. But first people were just like, oh, the guy from Baby Boy. And then they get off stage like, damn, he was actually funny as fuck. So that's going. I got the music going, but it's not going. It's just, it's kind of like a hobby because I don't have the time. Hats off to rappers, nigga. To really get your career launched, if you don't have an extra $250,000 to break a record, you have to really be in the trenches to make your career take off. So I'm like, hey, who got time for that? I'm already doing this. I got stand-up comedy, I got regular acting, I'm doing TV, I'm doing movies, I'm raising the kids, like all this shit, right? So I get a phone call. My friend says, yo, man, this nigga Cameron just went on his podcast and called you Omar Gooding Jr. I said, oh, I gotta watch this. So I watch it, and he says, yeah, people like Omar, and he's talking to 50 Cent. And says, yeah, man, it's amazing that people like Omar Gooding Jr. and Ving Rhames have to sit around waiting for people like 50 Cent to put them in something. I was just like, oh, nigga. So that pissed me off. The Omar Gooding Jr. part, I said, obviously he just had a slip of the tongue. But it's crazy is I have a relationship with this nigga. We did a movie called Percentage, and it wasn't that bad. And it was, guess who? Me, Ving Rhames, Macy Gray, and him. He partnered up with Queen Latifah in order to make the movie. So Queen Latifah has a production company called Flavor Unit, and his is whatever, Pink Records, I don't know, whatever it is. And the two of them went half and half on the budget. So it's funny when we got into it and he did a segment about it, he was like, yeah, I paid him $7,500 for a whole month. I'm like, you lying, nigga. You know you lying. For one, if you did pay me $7,500, that was just half of what I got paid. And I wouldn't have it for no goddamn month, nigga. It was like 2-3 weeks. It was a Netflix movie, So when it was what it was. But I digress. Now, the thing about it is, I wound up now doing 4 records, right? 4. And people going, some people know the whole story that I kind of briefly told, but what they don't realize is every response he's doing on his podcast. Yeah. He's not dropping full records. So people can't go, let's listen to this record, and then we'll listen to the response. No, it's my record, and then him commenting on my page, I don't want no smoke, ha, 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 ha. I was like, ha, 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 ha. The fuck is ha, ha, ha? So I did another record. At the beginning of the second record is, you don't want no smoke? That's fine. It's still gonna get hot. Now, the first record I did was the one that actually got the most traction because a lot of people just had no idea. Now, I've been doing music. I've been signed I've had deals with groups. I was under the moniker of Big O, so a lot of people couldn't find it. You look up Big O, and it's like some Samoan guy from the Bay and all this other type of shit. And I just now started branding myself musically, saying, no, this is Omar Gooding. That's what it is, right? So I think the first record, I just kind of went, I'm just kind of play with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going to find a beat that's kind of like a Cameron beat. Shout out to Lil Lodi who sent me this beat, and I went, this is a dope beat. Okay, I'm going to call it Warning Shot. It's just a warning, nigga. And I put the beat, and I switched up, and I did the little Eminem. I admit, I did the Eminem thing at the end. Like, I know what you're going to try to do. You're going to clown my network. You're going to probably talk about my brother. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Good luck. Come be original, motherfucker. Have at it. And when I put it out, now, after all this time of doing music, I'm in Double XL, Hip Hop Magazine, blah, blah, blah. All the blogs pick this shit up. Like, yo, this motherfucker actually got some bars. So I was just happy with that. I was
Are
like,
you about
cool.
to be in Freshman Class magazine?
No, I heard about that one. Well, I won't talk about that. But anyway,
did you see the oh my!
I don't know why.
Y'all saw the latest Freshman cipher.
I can't. Yeah. I don't,
oh my God! Some of the worst shit I ever seen in my life. So
yeah, it's tough, man, because it's just you know. Again, I've been through different eras. 8 years old. Like I've been through a lot of eras, right? In my opinion, like me, I think the best was Tupac and Biggie because I'm a lyricist and I love lyrics. And then the way it ended so tragically, I think that shifted everything. I think the kids were like, ugh, maybe we shouldn't do this aggressive rap. So then they kind of went to partying, and it was like the mumbling, and it was like everybody's taking drugs and and you know what I mean? And the TikTok dances and all that stuff. And no, I never knock anybody's hustle on getting a bag. You know what I mean? But I don't think they was ready for lyricism until after Kendrick Lamar and Drake got down. And then for Kendrick to come out on top, you know, I think I was like, ooh, dope. Now they're paying attention to West Coast. People see that we have lyrics. We're not just gangster rap. This is a good time for me. So even, you know, all the people that have been hearing it, all the DJs that have listened, they're like, yo, I think your timing is good. I think last 5 years or so, this probably wouldn't have worked. But I think right now is a good time. So I'm just, you know, I'm riding that wave. And the thing with, you know, not to keep jumping off the Cameron topic because I know we want to talk about it. The genius stroke for him, the problem is he had a good move, but he's a dummy. His good move was, since we worked together on Percentage, I worked with the director who, it's my guy. And then he introduced me to another guy who's not my guy, but he's a guy that I worked with. Just right? A guy. He's a guy, and he was like, I got a movie. And I was like, yeah, you know, so we did his film. And then out of the blue, he calls me on some last minute shit. He's like, oh, I need you to come to Miami. I gave not even one day, one scene, bro. And I'm like, how much for the scene? It's $2,500. I'm like, for one scene? How much money you got? $2,500? You fly me first class? Yeah, hotel, all that shit. You can take care of the whole nine. I just need you for one scene, man. It's for me. All right, fuck it. I'll do it. No problem. Right? Get there. Now, here's what's Cameron's plan. The man, so he went through somebody that I knew. That's the only way he pulled this shit off. And then, so I kind of, you know, got my guard down in the sense of I know this guy. Yeah, did him a favor, which is fine. I mean, honestly, motherfucker, I'll tell you right, you got $2,500 for one scene, nigga, I'm on my way. Anyway, so I pulled up, and he gives me the script. And the script, first of all, there was all these red flags that I only didn't see till he, you know, comes up behind the curtain and say, surprise, nigga, it's me. I read the script, and it says Omar. It doesn't say a character name. So that's clue number one. Clue number two is, and this is the misconception, because I get it, is again, it was a great prank. It was a good struggle. Haha, I'm a good sport. It was fucking hilarious, right? What he tried didn't work. He wanted me, the script said, we do this drug deal, I pass the money, and then I lose the bet and I lick the bottom of a shoe. Damn. As soon as I read that, I called the dude up. I was like, nigga, no. What the fuck is this? I'm not licking no shoe. And he goes, okay, we'll have him change something else, right? Later on, when Cameron does the big reveal, they were speaking Spanish and you had no idea, dummy. The director, the other thing he asked me was, do you know Spanish? Right? And I was just like, I said, muy poquito. That's what I said. This is a text message, right? So anyway, so we go back and forth. We get there, and then he says, okay, we're going to change it to, instead of licking a shoe, you take your shirt off and do jumping jacks and push-ups. I said, fuck no. Like, what do you think I'm doing? Like, I don't know. He's like, no, nigga. And when we finally filmed the scene, they're like, action, da-da. And they're talking Spanish, da-da. They're like, all right, son, you got to do 10 jumping jacks and 10 push-ups. I said, no, bitch, I'm not doing no fucking jumping jacks, but I give you 20 push-ups. I'm a grown-ass man. So I do the push-ups, right? Now that's pretty much the end of it. We do some this and that. It's it's a pretty legit setup. So hats off. I didn't think nothing of it. I got paid in full. Message. And then we leave it, and he comes to Kurt reveals blah blah blah. And now
so he revealed himself.
No, nothing. No,
okay.
I'm kind of jumping ahead. So it was just you did a scene. It was weird. Like I did an interview and I said, I'm like, you said the movie ain't coming out. I'm like, good. It was we're in one little room doing this little thing, this little favor for you. Like, who knows what that shit's gonna look like? So good. But the funny thing is, here goes the day, right? So I'll be a man, just be honest with y'all. I wake up, my phone's blowing up. My boy's calling me. It's my producer. It's like 20 missed calls.
Right.
And the message is, it's hell. It's bad. Cam did you dirty. We're fucked. It's over. Right? It's over. Call me now, right? So he sends me this link, and I look at it, and it pops up, and I see myself, and I go, oh, shit. I'm like, this nigga did some AI shit with a fake body, and oh, no, that's me. No, that's your titties, nigga. Camera adds 10 pounds, but nigga, that's your stomach. Nigga, that's you, right? And I'm like, fuck. Right? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, go, nigga, go. And I go outside, I go in my backyard, I do the little response and shit. You can still see the crust in my eye. And I'm like, oh, that was hilarious, nigga. I ain't worried about it. I'm almost 50. I don't give a fuck about my stomach, but nigga, please, nigga. But good shit, nigga. Little creepy, but good shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, what I'm about to do with you on music, nigga, blah, blah, blah. And I walk off, and I was just like, what am I gonna do to this motherfucker? And I had to go into the think tank, and then I thought about it, and it all hit me. And as I was writing, and I wrote a lot. The part 4 was me condensing all of the shit that I had to take some shit out. Like, don't be emotional, keep it hip hop. I had a lot of shit in there, but I narrowed it down to the basics. And the bottom line is, when I talk about suing him and all that shit, is I was in the dressing room. The picture that he had online with me showing up with my stomach like that is me getting dressed, putting the mic on in the dressing room.
Oh, okay. I thought you were out amongst everybody else. No?
In the dressing room. There's a private sealed room, right? Where they're like, here's some food and some drinks, and there's a makeup artist is going to come, and then they leave, and they're like, you can get dressed in here. So, all right, all I had to do was take off. Actually, I had a black tank top on, and I had another shirt on, and I had just bought this jersey that I got out in New York when I was doing this video, which is hilarious, ironically, with Cam's money, that said Dodgers and Lakers or whatever on it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear this, because then I can just rip it off, and because he wants me to take my shirt off. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take my shirt off. I'm gonna have a tank top, nigga. I'm not gonna, So that's where it was. And then if you look at the scene, you'll see I'm pulling my shirt up, and I'm holding a mic, a lavalier mic, and a pack, and that's what he's putting on me. So anyway, so that's I keep hinting at the legal shit is because, everyone has a team. Right? At the end of the day, yes, I'll make my own decisions. If time passes and I realize, you know what, that shit didn't work the way I want, then I'll sue the nigga. No, I'm kidding. Don't use that. Don't use that. I'm kidding. I say I'm kidding quickly. No. But when I mentioned that, I was just like, everyone's like, you gotta sue him. You gotta sue. It's invasion of privacy, defamation of character. I'm like, nigga, calm down. Let me work. Now remember, this happened on a Tuesday.
Right.
I didn't drop the response this number 4 till Friday. That was a rough 72 hours. Everyone's like, come on, we gotta do this and And I had a comedy show that night. And I get on stage, it's packed out. It's packed. They all
everybody want to know.
You know what I mean? I was like, we can talk about the pink elephant in the room. Everyone starts laughing, and I'm like, whoa, they're my titties. I do all that joke, And then it was still so fresh that I didn't have anything written at the time for it. I just had to kind of vamp, touch on it, and then move on into my set.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get the business done. But then, I got to go in the studio, and it was therapy, man. A lot of this shit is entertainment, which is dope. And it's at the end of the day, Cameron, hats off, man. I appreciate you. You may not have been your intention, but it's brought good attention to the fact that a nigga actually can spit. They know now that I got bars. When I put out music, it'll be taken seriously, and the phone hasn't stopped ringing in every direction, which is crazy. I was like, damn, TMZ and everybody wants to do an interview.
Yeah.
Movie roles are coming in, but I gotta seriously.
I love it.
I'm vetting the hell out of them. One dude called me like, we out of Syracuse. I'm like, word. New York, huh? Yeah. When's the last time you talked to camera? What do you mean? And the motherfucker's funny. This last guy, I just threw a number out there like, yeah, all right, how about this much? He's like, done. Can I send it to you this way? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, send So yeah, no, it's all been love, man. And
that's crazy because sometimes people have come on here before and like they've been like, people see you now in this new era of like immediate see you, and you can get resurrected through just a viral video or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
So overall, it was a good experience.
Overall, so good. Hey.
Talk about the record with Glasses Malone, just real quick.
Yeah, man.
I know you gotta go, so I don't.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
No, we're fine. Glasses Malone, so dope too. Now, when this shit started, part 1 that I released, part 2 that I released, and we kind of jumped around a lot, but the thing is, I only reacted, right? I'm not just sitting there going, what can I do? What can I do? Ooh, how about I talk shit about Cameron? No. The first article came out, boom, I did the part 1. He responded there, I did the part 2. I was gonna leave it alone. Then he does a whole segment on his show. Right. And he does a segment on his show where he goes, yeah, so he tries to explain it in his own Cameron way. And he's almost apologizing. He does a little lies about the $7,500, all that shit. Whatever, nigga, it's fine. You talk your talk. And then one of his guys asked me, he said, yeah, Omar's going to be in Bakersfield, California tonight. He said, I've never even heard of Bakersfield. And they're all laughing. He's like, and Cameron looks at Cameron, he's like, yeah, that's what he does. He does barbershops, bowling alleys. Nigga, that was hilarious. I was laughing when he said that shit. I'm like, oh. I was like, man. And I responded on the line. I said, nigga, that was funny, nigga. Good shit. But part 3's on the way. So I did a third one. And the third one, too, for me, I thought that was going to end it. Because I was just like, all right, let's put this thing to bed. I got another beat from another bomb-ass producer. M80 has done most of my stuff lately. But I got to shout out Stephen Keys, the Mole Ellis, who's a beast. And he sent me a track like, go over this one. And I got down, and I did the track, and I thought that was it. Now this man comes, with the little prank, so then he resurfaces again. But again, he's doing all this stuff online. And he's not coming, dropping nothing on YouTube as far as like a record and nothing. So right. I'm just kind of, going with what I can. But I was like, again, after it was embarrassing. Then you man up and you say, all right, let's spin this. And then I wrote this song, and then I still wasn't sure how it was going to be received. But I was just like, come on, man. And you respond, and I'm doing it, boom, boom, boom. But before I released that song, I was going to release For the Culture. Mm-hmm. Now, For the Culture came about. My man Black Nails, who works with Dre, works with a lot of people, but Black Nails is a producer. He sent me a beat pack, and I listened to that. The first song came over, I think it was the second track he sent was this beat, and I was just like, ooh, nasty. And I wrote, just went crazy. Boom, 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 boom. That's why the song is so long. I originally was just going to be me.
Yeah, it is long.
It's a long song. And I remember my producer was mixing, he's like, it's a long song. I said, well, Drake and all them, Kendrick, that shit was 6 minutes. It was going 6 minutes. I was like, this ain't for the radio per se. But anyway, but that's why it's so long, because I wrote one long verse, and then I wrote a shorter verse. I wrote the hook. I wrote all that. And from the very first track that I released, Glasses hit me and was like, yo, tag me in. Tag me in. And I'm like, be easy. I got this. I got to stand on my own and show this dude. This is between me and you. They kept trying to make this East-West, and I was like, nah. If I bring Glasses and now we out here gang banging, like, this is a man, mano y mano. I've heard of some, look, Cameron is tough. He's a legend. Like, I was expecting, I'm just waiting. Come on, man. I know he's going to go hard. Like, come on. Right. All the little jokes you're doing, just do that over music, and that's a response. You know what I mean? But he refuses, which is fine. But
do you think he's scared to go at you not knowing?
I don't think it's fear. I think it's because people will live in whatever truth they want. Right? He released something just recently, and he even said something recently. Was like, yeah, you still wearing that shirt that you wore. You need some clothes. And we just trying some little jabs and all this shit. I was just like, whatever, nigga. He's like, wait till you see what I do on Tuesday. I was like, oh shit. He put a camera again somewhere with it, and then he releases this freestyle, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then the comments are like, yo, he's back. Omar the 1-9, but he didn't say shit about me. I mean, he avoided it and just kind of rapped about having money.
Have you spoken to Cameron? Have y'all got on the phone?
Not at all. We had one text, and before his big drop the bomb thing, he direct messaged me. Okay. And he said, "You fell for the bait. Now see what I do." And I responded with an emoji, like a smirking emoji, and then he typed back, "Ha ha ha ha, my nigga." And I was like, all right. So he gets that it's fun. And then when he came with the shkabang, I was like, you really want it. This is some, now if I don't come back with this pen, because me just talking wasn't going to cut it. I have to show people that it's music. It's about music. And that's what the genius thing about both of this, whether either one of us meant it to be or not. My thing, again, I'm promoting music. and I'm promoting stand-up comedy. So I'm doing jokes in the music, and I'm showing motherfuckers that I really got bars. And I have an album that I was already slated to come out in October on my birthday. So every year on my birthday, I drop some music. Well, for the last 2-3 years. So I'm promoting that, and he had the opportunity to be the head of Revolt. I think it was Revolt TV. So that was the debut, this fake movie, you know. And that's why I put all that shit in the record. Like, you said it wasn't coming out, nigga, then you made it the #1 debut movie.
That's funny.
It's like, it's there. It's out, buddy. And a lot of people going, damn, this shit look kind of good. I wish they made the whole movie, you know. So yeah, I think we both benefited from it.
This is by far the most unorthodox beef I've ever seen. Because
sure.
it's like,
the world we live in.
It's like an actor beefing a rapper, but you're both doing the opposite things.
Yeah.
You're rapping at him and he's acting at you. And you're like, I'm going to do what you do and not what I do.
Right,
It's like,
right.
all right.
That is great, man. Everybody's being entertained, and I think that's the best part. I mean, you know, again, I don't see any negatives from it. So
Right. The other thing I was
as long
gonna
as
mention-
nobody tries to turn this into an East-West thing, even with the
I don't
glasses.
think it's going to be that. I think both you guys are having fun with
We're
it.
having fun, and I'm trying to make a point to say it's not West Coast, even though I say West Coast. And
to Cam's credit, he said the raps is dope.
Yeah.
He's like,
you know,
the shits is good.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he couldn't hate on it. I personally listened to all of them. You go hard.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Period.
Thanks, bro. And then I keep jumping around. So that's what For the Culture was gonna be. What I was gonna release it on that Friday.
Got it.
Again, I wrote the whole song. I sent it to Glasses, because Glasses was like, we gotta do something. I was like, what you think of this? And he was like, ooh. I said, you could throw a verse on the end of that, and that could be our first collab together. And he said, say less. And he went right in the booth, sent it right back. I was like, ugh. I was like, I'm gonna drop this Friday. That was on a Monday.
Right.
Then Tuesday came. Titties and stomach. I said, we got to hold this off a week, bro. I gotta go back in the lab. So then I put the part 4 out, and then we just released that. We just did a mic drop video for it too, which is kind of
That's cool, man.
So yeah, so that's where we at.
I hope he drops something. You know what I mean?
That would be
We want to keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not fun if you don't drop nothing.
Yeah, because
drop a
but
record,
again, like where the world we live in, you know, he wants.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny too. Like, I turned the comments off, and I was like, because I want y'all to go to my YouTube channel. So then my YouTube channel jumped up because people were like, okay, let's comment on here. But on the YouTube, they're like, oh shit. You know?
It did jump up. I noticed that because at first they wasn't really checking out the records over there. And I was like, what's going on? That's not happening. Yeah. So that's what you did.
That's what I did. I turned the comments off so they can run over there. And then they were like, hey, turn the comments off. He's scared. I'm like, I ain't worried about y'all comments.
Yeah,
I just want y'all to go over here. And then he wants everybody to tune in and get his ratings up over there.
Right.
So win-win, man.
Shout out, man.
Go on.
We got more time. What you got?
No, he got it.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
Yeah.
We can do that like a couple minutes though, like last.
So I got a question about, when I grew up, TGIF was a classic fucking boom, 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 boom. And you was in that. You were in the classic TGIF lineup, hanging with Mr. Cooper. I was always watching that shit. Yeah.
The TGIF, let's see, it was Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Family Matters, Full House.
You were right after Full House,
one
right?
other show. Yep.
I read that.
We all filmed right next to each other too. Hanging with Mr. Cooper's stage was right across from Family Matters.
Okay.
I was with, Jaleel. We would hang out with Jaleel, and I hung out more with Darius. But we all grew up together. You know what I mean? So it was, I watched Jaleel struggle with just how to get out of Urkel, and it was like, it's just tough, man. That's the tricky thing about being an actor. They know you as this. That's what you're gonna be forever.
Man, he was huge though. Man, he had that fucking dance. He's like a character.
Oh yeah,
character.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
tough. It's like, well, that's a tough question. He's like, what would you rather be known for one thing and that's it forever? But you can live off that forever, or say I'm an actor and I can do anything. It's like,
Were you surprised that Smart Guy was ended so abruptly?
Yes, fuck. That was such a good one. I wasn't surprised because of what happened to end it, even though I thought we got through. It was another one of those things where you were like, ooh, this could be bad. We'll probably be all right. Nope, it's over. Shit, I knew it, And to his credit, again, we talked about it. Like, look, if I had a show called Smart Guy and I was the smart guy, I would expect to be paid more than everybody else. It's just that simple. But the deal they gave us, we were all getting paid the same thing. Which was like, you're an ensemble cast. It's just called Smart Guy, and he's 10. Knock it off. It's like, damn. But and that was when the season was 25 episodes. Now seasons are like 13, 12, this and that. But we did 25 in the first season. Second season, now we've had Beyonce, and then we had everybody. Destiny's Child, we had everybody on the show. We were at the top of the world, man.
I definitely watched that.
Oh, I loved it. And it was so well written. I didn't have to do much. You know what I mean? I would look at stuff and say, I gotta make this funny. Like I made my bones like through Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I had to do a lot of fighting on camera where I would have to. I wasn't just the guy. I wasn't even a series regular on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I was 7 out of 13. So there's some episodes of Hanging with Mr. Cooper I just wasn't in because I wasn't contracted to be in every single episode until the last 2 seasons. Last 2 seasons I became a series regular. But I had to fight. We had a presentation, and then after a presentation, we had a pilot. And then after the pilot, we shot the series. And then the series went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 101 episodes. But I had to learn, if I got one line, I got to make this one line funny. And I would make my bones on, I would get a line that might just be the setup. They might say, where are you going? I'm going over here. And everyone laughs about the over here part. And I got to say, well, where are you going? And I make that part funny. Now, oh, wait, that's funny. Shit, we can give Omar anything and he'll make it funny. So I would have to, that was kind of like my thing. How do I make this funny? But Smart Guy was just like the easiest gig ever, man, for me. It was just like, when I read the script, I'm falling over laughing. I do remember one quick story about Smart Guy. They were worried about the episode where my character, Mo and TJ, have to play like a mom and a dad to a baby egg. And before, when they wrote the script, they came to my dressing room like somebody died. And they were like, we want to talk to you about this. I want to make sure you're okay with this. And I'm like, what? What's the problem? And they were like, so, and they explained the whole thing. And they were like, so is that fine? You don't want to wear no dress, no lipstick. You're going to be like the mom, but it's going to be funny if you play it right. And I'm like, it's hilarious on paper. Like, y'all relax, it's going to be good. So we did it, and it wound up being one of my favorite episodes. That one in Hood Safaris. Like, their writing was so good. I didn't have to do anything extra, just be. But
There's already a stigma about the dress thing back then.
I think it's you kind of know when you know, like there's certain guys or girls that won't do this or might not be comfortable. They just knew. They're looking at him. They're like, he ain't gonna. Let's go talk to him.
We
like,
better ask about it.
Yeah, let's talk. It's not just gonna be in the script and he was at the table going, what? Who wrote this? You know, which I thought was cool. And that's kind of how Hollywood has been for me. It's been, a common sense driven for me. Like, I would always talk to mainly black actresses who struggle with the casting couch or they expect them to put out or da-da-da-da. And I'm like, just lead them on. Guys, we're simple. If we think we can fuck, we're happy being around you. We don't have to fuck. Sometimes just be in the room.
Right.
Go to the lobby and hang out. Don't go upstairs. As soon as we're going up to room such and such, that's when I'll see y'all tomorrow. And we'll be fine. Don't take your ass up there and be like, I can't believe what they tried to do. But don't go upstairs. All it is don't go upstairs. And it's how it is everywhere. They do all the stuff that you guys hear about. I've seen it all. I just didn't partake. I smoke weed and I drink alcohol. And I've done both to the point where I woke up like, oh shit, I was just at a party. I done blacked out just off weed. So why the fuck would I want to do anything else? That's just me personally.
Right.
I've seen the plates pass by. You want some? I'll be like, looks good. Like, no thanks. Because I don't know what the fuck I do with some of that shit. I got enough coffee right now. I think I'm going to lose my damn mind.
Was that a Snoop party?
What a Snoop party?
That you passed out off the weed.
No,
Snoop was in Baby Boy, right?
Hey, Snoop smoked. We did a stage play. This shit was crazy, bro. It was called Redemption of a Dog, and we went all across the country and we toured, and this thing was phenomenal. Shout out to everybody that was a part of it. I can't remember his name. The writer, producer, everything was dope. But this man smokes weed everywhere with impunity. It don't matter. We was in a church and they were like, sir, it's Snoop, go ahead. I'm like, damn, he can smoke anywhere. I remember on Baby Boy, and he got off the set, he pulled up for the scene where we killed him, and he hit the blunt and he handed it right to me. And we in front of everybody said, oh shit, nigga, what are you doing? Like, I didn't want to be that guy, And he tried to pass it to, John and Tyree. I don't do that shit, I was like, all right. But yeah, what a cool human.
Is his roller always with him?
Yeah, he got
a roller, right? Like somebody just rolls up his shit.
Dude, the amount of weed smoked in a session, it just makes no sense. It's not one blunt. It's never one blunt. If it's down to one blunt, it's a problem. Why ain't nobody rolling up another blunt? It's multiples. You can hold one, because you smoke weed, you can just be holding it and just forget you holding it. Like, oh shit, it don't matter. You be like, let me get your lighter back out and let it go out. And everyone's got one in their hand. Like, why do you need that much smoke? But yeah, I'm glad he's all right though. So I remember I heard about that pass out. I was like, oh, that's the end of smoking. And he was like, shit. Smoke like a chimney.
You had a session with him though?
What?
With Snoop?
Oh my God.
What was your best session you ever had? You looked around, you was like, what the fuck? I'm in here with these crazy smokers.
So when we did this stage play, he would have a meeting before we go on. And we're like, all right, everybody meet me in my dressing room. We're all like, you know what that means. We trying to remember our lines, man. And we get in there and it's cloudy as shit. Man, you know, you don't have to smoke weed with Snoop. Just be in the room. You got that contact high like a motherfucker. Like, I'm hungry as shit. Why am I so hungry? I think the craziest time was when they left me out of the, I'm gonna end with this one. Baby Boy. Like every time I tell somebody, yeah, I'll do your podcast or I'll do your movie or whatever the case is, and they do a flyer, they always put one song on it. You're just a baby boy. And every time I hear that song, I'll be like this, motherfucker. Because they shot the video without me. Everybody in the movie was in the video. But Omar and Angel. Angel was my girlfriend, and we were the two that just, you know, again, my whole mentality with Baby Boy was like, I got to just do my job. I got to prove everybody that I can do this and da-da-da-da-da. So they wanted to go out and hang out and do this shit. I'm like, nah, fuck off. You know, I'll go with my girl, and then we'd go and do our own thing. So we were kind of ostracized from, like, other activities. You only say no so many times when people stop inviting you, that type of thing. You know what I mean? And it wasn't no real ill will thing. It's just what it is, what it was. You know, me and Tyrese, we butted heads. He wanted me to go hang out with him and, you know, go to his house. I was just like, no, you come to mine, nigga. You came to my house, we smoking weed and drinking. And he was like, nah, this ain't the environment. I want to get into the script. I'm like, nigga, go fuck off. Who work on the set? And that was wrong of me. I should have, you know, helped him out more in that case. And I think that's all he wanted was to just, you know, get into the role. But anyway, it is what it was. So it comes up, we finished filming, and I get a call from Angel, and she's like, you know, they filming the video. I'm like, what video? Is that for Baby Boy? I was like, shit, what time? She's like, it's already going. I didn't get no invite. She's like, yeah, me neither, but my girls are there, and they called and said it's going down. Now, we filmed that movie in LA, in the hood. I lived in Northridge. Guess where they filming this video?
Don't say Northridge.
Northridge Park. Northridge Park. I pulled up with 12 niggas in a fucking, I was driving a Bronco. Rolled up on the grass, hopped out like, oh, this what we doing? This what we doing? And, you know, John walked over, hey, walked off. I was like, hey, what's up, nigga? Tyrese, oh, Sweet Pea. I was like, yeah, where's Snoop at? When I walked over to Snoop's trailer, and I was like, what up, guy? He's like, what up, man? What's that? We smoked. Now I felt better. I was like, all right, man, I'm out of here. He's like, all right, guy, I see. I said, all right, my nigga. And I remember walking back through, and everybody's still looking like, oh, shit. They go, hey, man, Sweet Pea, throw on something and get in the video. I said, fuck no. Because if I was to just force myself in the video, and then they cut me out, that would have been a problem. But it is what it is. It's all about relationships and shit.
I bet Snoop don't have too many confrontations because you go there to his dressing room, then you smoke weed, then you're like, oh, all right, I'm fine, it's cool.
But I'm glad you mentioned that. We won't put that song on the banner.
Please don't. I got a couple you can put on the banner.
All right, man, we're going to wrap that up since you got to get out of here. One more episode in the books. Thank you for coming by. You're welcome back anytime,
I'm glad you said that. When I release my album, I'm coming, man.
That's right. Come through.
October 17th.
This your new home.
We had a whole listening party.
Yeah.
Y'all was so close.
Yeah.
Great. I'm glad I saw the camera.
What's up, TFU? This is AT. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.